Hey everyone, this is Anam Chahar. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'll be explaining the poem Father to Son along with all the poetic devices. It's from the book Hornbill of class 11 and the poet is Elizabeth Jennings. Let's begin. This poem, Father to Son, highlights the issue of generation gap which exists between parents and their children. This generation gap widens due to the lack of communication and difference of opinion. Here, in this poem, a father deals with an estranged relationship with his son. He wants to have a good relationship, he wants to have a healthy relationship with his son, just like the way they had when his son was a small child. He wants to have the same kind of relationship, but he feels helpless. He doesn't know what to do and how to improve this relationship. So this is what the poem is all about. Let's begin. Stanza 1 and 2. I do not understand this child. Now, who is I here? I is the father. The father says, I do not understand this child, though we have lived together now in the same house for years. So clearly, it shows the helplessness of the father who says that though we have lived in the same house together, he is my son, I'm his father, but still I do not understand this child. I fail to understand my own son. I know nothing of him. So try to build up a relationship from how he was when small. He says, I know nothing of him. I don't know about his feelings, his opinions, his aspirations for life. I know nothing about him. So I try to build the same kind of relationship which we had when he was a small child. Yet have I killed the seed I spent or sown it where the land is his and none of mine. The father is doubtful. He says, is it too late? Have I killed the seed? Have I killed the seed that I spent or sown where the land is his and none of mine? So this line shows that, like I said, they do not understand each other. There is a generation gap. There is difference of opinion. The land is his and none of mine means now his feelings are his ideas, his opinions, his perceptions. They are quite different from those of mine. So we do not understand each other. We are not on the same land. We are not on the same page, which means we do not have the same kind of perceptions towards various things. We speak like strangers. There is no sign of understanding in the air. Now, when my son is not a child anymore, he's grown up. We speak like strangers. We hardly speak to each other, and when we speak like strangers, as if we do not know each other. There is no sign of understanding in the air. We do not understand each other. And that is the root cause of all the arguments. That is the root cause of the estranged relationship. This child is built to my design, yet what he loves I cannot share. The father says that he's my own son. He's my flesh and blood. He's built to my design. He has my genes, my flesh and blood. But and I've brought him up in the environment which I had planned for him. So everything was done as per the plan. I don't think I've done anything wrong. So still, I cannot tell you what he loves. I cannot tell what he likes, and what are his dreams and aspirations. Silence surrounds us. I would have him prodigal, returning to his father's house, the home he knew, rather than see him make and move his world. Silence surrounds us. So clearly, this line shows the estranged relationship, that they hardly talk to each other. They are like strangers. They have nothing to share. They have nothing to talk about. They have nothing in common. I would have him prodigal. Prodigal is a person who diverges from his way, who diverges from the right path, who spends a lot, who spends recklessly rather wastefully. So he says that I am ready to have him back. I'm ready to have my prodigal son back. I want him to return to his father's house, the home he knew, the home where he was born, the home where he spent his childhood, rather than see him make and move his world, rather than seeing him struggle in this opportunist, in this hypocrite world, in a world where everyone is an opportunist. I would forgive him too, shaping from sorrow a new love. The father says, I'm ready to forgive him. I want to shape a new relationship. I want to build a new relationship like the one we had when my son was a child. Last stanza. Father and son, we both must live on the same globe and the same land. So, at the end of the day, despite everything, we still are father and son. I'm still your father and you're still my son. So we both must live together. We both must find some common grounds. We both must try to coexist. I should try to understand you, and at the same time, you should also try to understand me. He speaks, I cannot understand myself. Why anger grows from grief. So, this helplessness which the father is feeling, it slowly takes the shape of anger. So, sometimes when a person is helpless, when he feels grief, this grief sometimes takes the shape of anger also. We put out an empty hand longing for something to forgive. Longing means desiring. So at last he says that both of us, we both extend empty hands to each other. Both of us wish to forgive each other, but we both are helpless. We don't know how to improve this relationship. We don't know how to rectify the damage that is already caused. So, this is what the poem is all about. Now, let us discuss the poetic devices. So, we'll discuss poetic devices of stanza 1 and 2 first. As you can see, the bold underlined words. First poetic device is alliteration. Alliteration means repetition of consonant sound in close connection. Seed I spent or sown. Seed, spent, sown. Sir sound is repeated here. We speak like strangers, there is no sign. Speak, strangers, sign. Again, sir sound is repeated, which is a consonant sound. So, these are examples of alliteration. Second poetic device is simile. Simile is when we do some comparison by using the words like or as. So, see these underlined words. We speak like strangers. Here, this relationship, speak like stranger means he's comparing his son with a stranger. Our relationship is not like that of a father and a son. We hardly speak, and when we speak like strangers. So my own son is just like a stranger to me. So he's comparing his son with a stranger. So it is simile. Third is metaphor. The seed I spent or sown. Here, again, comparison has been done without using the words like or as. So when this kind of comparison is done, it is called metaphor. Here, he's comparing his son with a seed. Like I said, his son belongs to him. He's the one, his son is his own flesh and blood. So he's comparing his son with a seed. It is metaphor. Next is enjambment. As you can see, after most of the lines, there is no punctuation mark. So we can say that enjambment has been used here. Moving on to stanza 3 and 4. First is alliteration. So many examples of alliteration in stanza 3. Silence surrounds us. Silence surrounds. Sir sound is repeated. I would have him prodigal. Have him. Her sound is repeated here, which is again a consonant sound. Third line, his father's house, the home. His house, home. Her sound is repeated, so it is also an example of alliteration. Next line, rather than see him make and move. Make, move. Mer sound is repeated here. His world, I would forgive him. World, would. Ver sound is repeated. And in the same line, his world, I would have him forgive. His, him. Her sound is also repeated. So it is alliteration. Last line of stanza 3, shaping from sorrow a new love. Shaping, sorrow. Sir sound is repeated here. Last stanza, fourth line, why anger grows from grief. Grows from grief. Grows grief. Ger sound is repeated. So all these are examples of alliteration. Next poetic device is repetition. On the same globe and the same land. Second line of last stanza. The word same is repeated twice. Same globe, same land. So it is repetition. Next again is enjambment. After many lines there is no punctuation mark. So it's enjambment. That's it. If you like the video, if you found it useful, then please subscribe to my channel, hit the bell icon, and you can also leave comments. Thank you so much.